Oh, everyone, I thought we'd do a cure for cancer today. I thought I'd throw one in after the Friday reading. I thought, I say I'm going to do more of these, and then they're tough to get to. You can't pull these too often because we're checking the temperature of the soulmate cycle. These are technically an all signs reading. We're doing sort of a flyover of the theme energy, if you will. So you can't do them too often. I'm trying to get at least one a month in. All right, here we go. I got a pre-shuffle. I said, what do you want to tell my people? We're going to do a cure for cancer reading. All right. I've got, just on the surface, I got 2 cups. This is somebody attached to you. I don't think this is you. Roles can be reversed, but I think this is somebody attached to you. And they might be in a relationship. I don't know. Might be a family that's keeping them stuck. I don't know. It could even be a job, okay? Something that keeps them away from you. All right. I've got 2 of cups crossed by the 7 of cups with a devil and a 4 of pentacles. And underneath that is the 5 of pentacles, which is a bit of an escalation. I've got somebody basically in the surface here having trust issues. I got somebody having some serious trust issues with the people around them. And I think because I see this devil here, I don't think they're paying much attention. It's one of those things where, like if this was a business thing, I do see pentacles here, you could end up destitute. If you've got a business partner, right, and you're not paying attention to the books, you just trust them with the books. Sometimes you end up like that because you weren't looking, right? Happened to Billy Joel. He had his brother-in-law managing his books for a long time. All of a sudden, he's investing in all kinds of shit, donkeys, all kinds of weird shit or whatever. Now, all of a sudden, 90 million bucks goes missing. Where the hell is it? Right, that kind of a thing. It can happen. You got to keep an eye on your shit, even if somebody else is doing it. You got to check their work. It could be that if it was a business thing, it might be just a card of contract. If it's a family thing, it can be somebody cheating on you, and you don't know because you're not paying attention. I don't know. I think somebody attached to you, we'll just say it this way, blanket, is having trust issues at the moment. I'm not sure they're aware of it. I don't know. Well, let's see. It somehow relates to you. Maybe it's because they're distracted thinking about you. I don't know. That's just what I'm getting. Let's see where we go. It's Cure for Cancer reading. It's all signs. This is the theme energy of the soulmate cycle. We're just sticking a thermometer up the ass of the soulmate cycle and checking the temperature. Are we normal? Or do we need to go to the emergency room? I don't know. Let's see. This reading's a little different than the usual reading. We pull 5 cards from the bottom. It's the environmental energy around this person. Maybe you. Roles can be reversed. And we pull 4 cards from the top, which we clarify, which are how the person is behaving within the environmental energies. Okay? That's it. It's that simple. I'll throw some universe cards at the end. I often do. I clarify the shit out of this stuff. Let's see where we go. Let's see where we're at. It's a general reading. It may or may not resonate with you, but if the title brought you in here, or you found Steve's Love Chair, you're here for a reason. This reading is timeless and very rare. I don't do these very often. So if you find it, if you're here, well, good. It might be future influence for you. I don't know. But if you're here, you're definitely supposed to be. Yeah, something going on. Our first card out at the bottom. The environmental energy of the first card out is super important. Always is. At least for me. I mean, you could be like, well, whatever. I'm just watching the reading. Fuck this guy. I got you. But for me, that's fucking, I got to drop the card. I got to step back. Especially based on what I just said in the pre-shuffle. All right, let's go. We're going to pull 5 here. Let me get them set up right. I got a Tower. I got a Knight of Pentacles right there. Look, and I got down the middle, I got the Truth. Just these 3. All right, this one is a standalone. Right? This one bookends whatever's at the end, and this one bookends whatever's one further in. But just looking at the reading the way it flows right now, I got somebody who's oblivious to it. Something's happening right in front of this person, like the whole world is falling apart and they don't know it. I think the truth is about to reveal itself, but I do think the truth is probably hidden at this point in the environmental energy. It'll do that to you. It'll do that to you to help balance your energy. All the energy around us is trying to do is balance the energy. It'll do whatever it takes. It doesn't care. So everyone thinks, oh, it cares about me. It's this and that. Not necessarily. It would knock it way out of balance if something bad happened to you. It's a binary universe. Let's try not to put too many human emotions on it. Okay? Because it's just 2 polarities of energy, varying types of energy, but it pretty much works the same all the way through. All right? With the exception of the core energies, the dark energies and things like that, which work a little bit different, but we're not going to We're not going to overcomplicate things with that. I take all of that into consideration. I study the shit out of all of that. I know whatever they know. Whoever they are. Here we go with the Eight of Cups and the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, bookending the Tower. What did I tell you? Rewind. What did I say? Even before I got here, I said shit's going on around this, all around this person. I think whatever is happening brings this person to you. I get this a lot in specifically the Cancer angle, where you've gone through something. I actually see it in the Leo soap opera angle too, which are two very big angles in this cycle, where you've gone through something and so they need advice because they're going through it. Now, you could just take it as a generic tarot read where the reader might say to you, somebody's what you went through before, somebody's going through now. How you felt before, somebody feels now. We could look at it that way. Okay, that's just surface though. That's like top two layers. I'm going deeper. There's some shit going on in their life that's making them really take a look at themselves, right? They're really taking a look at their life here. No doubt. It's a major deception. And somebody's going to see what a fool they've been. I mean, the energy is setting up to balance this out. I get it. That's what the tower's doing, right? The tower falls, you rebuild. So I think this moment where the tower falls and all the, why didn't I see this? Somebody saying to themselves, why didn't I see this, right? Well, they're busy focused on other things. They're off in La La Land doing something else, or thinking they're the Burger King. They can have it their way. They're the shit. Everything's great. You know, narcissists don't believe anything can go wrong around them. And they believe that if something does go wrong, they can handle it just like that, don't worry about it. But they're not that fluid. They're actually very rigid, so they don't end up handling it well, right? But they never admit that they didn't handle it well. If it goes bad, they just say, well, that's how I planned it. I planned that. I wanted it to go that way, right? It's the same example I always give you of narcissists tripping on the sidewalk. Rather than let the people laugh at them, they'll pretend it was a pratfall or some kind of comic routine. I planned that, like that kind of a thing. So there's a little bit of that going on here. So at the end of the day, though, I think it brings this person to you. Let's see. This is the environmental energy. If I'm to sum it up, it's exactly what I said in the pre-shuffle. This person's having a trust issue, and I'm not sure they know about it. They're about to have it right in their face, a trust issue. Somebody is taking advantage on their side. Somebody's stealing from them. Could be business, could be family. It's somebody they care about that it might hurt them when it happens. And they're going to look to you for support. I get that. I just get them coming right towards you. Right? Walking away from 8 broken cups and coming back toward you. This implies it's somebody who ran. This might be a runner. This might be a family member you're estranged from. It could be a friend, but I think if it's a friend, you may have tried to warn them about this at some point, which is why they come to you. Right? Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see where we go. If this is you, pay attention. Open your eyes. All right? Take the fucking steel blinders off and take a look around. Be careful, especially if you own a business with somebody. Be careful about that. Make sure you're looking at the books too. Anybody ever tells you, no, I got this. I'll handle this. You handle that. That's a red flag. All right? Anybody who's worried about criticism, I don't care if it's a government or if it's a fucking business or if it's just you and a friend. Anybody that's worried about criticism and wants to shut it down is probably hiding something. All right? If you got nothing to hide, you got nothing to worry about. You know, especially with those books like I'm talking about. That being said, so if it's you, open your eyes. I can't tell them that here because they're not here, whoever this is that's attached to you. Which for most of you, it's not you, it's somebody attached. Let's see how they're behaving in this energy. Page of Cups, naive. Okay, I'm just going to throw a key word out, naive. How they're behaving in this energy. All right. Well, little girls this age, very naive, right? Little Tommy doesn't care about you. He's just hoping your dress falls off. That's all. Little Tommy doesn't give a shit. He don't understand anything. You're naive. All right, there we go. That's for the 2 12-year-olds that sneak in here and watch this channel. There you go. You're naive. All right? Little Tommy don't care. It's the Hangman. What's crossing that? The 9 of Swords. And what's the final outcome? Six of Cups, somebody coming back. It's what I said. It's what I said. Somebody coming back to start over. Why? I think as soon as they figure this out, they're coming straight to you. They're up all night, pacing the kitchen at 2 in the morning with a bottle of whiskey. What am I going to do? Oh my God, Steve's viewer would know what to do, right? Somebody got a whole different opinion on their life, on what they're keeping, on the people around them. Whole different point of view. They're naive, yes, but somebody naive is coming toward you. This is your final outcome right here. Somebody naive shows up. Everything I said, I read the whole reading before it landed on the table. That's a perfect card to land there. Six of Cups. Somebody returning. It's right there. Now, the naive energy here also means when they return, they don't know how to handle this. You might. Okay? Just like if you had somebody stealing books from you, someone like me, if it came to me, someone like me would know how to handle it. We'd know what to say. Or know what to do. Depending on the situation, it might or might not involve a baseball bat. Just so we're clear. But I'm a bit of a hothead. But at the end of the day here, somebody doesn't know what to do. It's an emotional issue is what this card is also saying. Let's clear. Oh my God. At the bottom of the deck, the 6th card. We didn't even get to see it. But you may have seen it when I pulled the 5th card. Sometimes I show it to you in these readings. It's that. It's the 5 of Cups. This all ends poorly. It all ends in regret. It always does. When you're not paying attention, a little life lesson for you, a little tip. When you're not paying attention, that's when people do shit to you. People will fuck you over if you give them a chance. People don't like it when I say that. Well, that sounds pessimistic. It's not pessimistic. It's realistic. Okay? At least allow for the fact that they might, so you don't get hurt as much. All right? It's just the way it is. When you're not paying attention, pay attention. You know, I mean, most people are walking around the streets not even paying attention. It's a pickpocket's dream right now. I swear, I wish I was a pickpocket. I make $1,000 a day, probably by 10 a.m. with just people walking around with their nose in their smartphone, not paying attention to what's going on. You know, I told you 1,000,000 times. I said I'm going to shuffle for the clarifier here on naive. People think I was in the military all the time because they watch me. The ones that were in the military watch me and go, "You're always paying attention to your surroundings. You seem to look around. What branch were you in, son?" Right? It's like that. It's like, no, I didn't. It's just seems like the smart thing to do to keep your scanners peeled. They usually give you a thumbs up and go, "It is," you know, that kind of a thing. People don't do that. They're not paying attention at all. So this person's not paying attention here. I'm telling you, so you pay attention more in your life to the people around you. You don't have to be all skeptical and shit. Just keep your eyes open and allow for the fact that your best friend might fuck you over. Just allow for it. You don't have to plan for it and stay up all night worrying about it. Most people don't even allow for that fact. Blind trust. Blind faith will get you into trouble, and blind trust will too. Trust is earned, and it has to be earned all the time. All right? All right. Anyway, whatever. Just trying to help. Just trying to help mitigate the 3 of Swords and 8 of Swords damage that I found when I started this YouTube channel and came here and got thousands of emails. I innocently put my email address out on the fucking thing. Oh, my God. Oh, I mean, what the hell? And most of it could have been avoided if people would just allow for the fact that this fucker was going to run. You know? Don't be surprised. The DMs, and pay attention to what's going on out in the world. The DMs, most of the world, lower vibrational DM energies, are at war with the feminine energies. I mean, it doesn't take much to see that. Here we go with all the sensitivity and stuff, caring for other people. Fuck that, right? All that empathy. Ah! All right, me first. That's a pile of crap. Here we go. It's going to get us in trouble. Here we go. Knight of Cups. It gets you in trouble in your life too. It's not a magical, refreshing way to live a life. It's a life that goes by quick, like that. And you look back and you with a lot of regrets. Oh, I don't know, baby shit like that, right there. You know. Again, Knight of Cups. Yeah, somebody's coming towards you for reasons I've already said. And what's on top? The Tower. Because their whole world, because the Tower, well, look, it's exact. Look, I don't know why I'm your second favorite. I have no idea. Is it because I'm a handsy uncle? Is that why? Okay, fine. Call the authorities. Okay, whatever. I don't know. Uncle Steve, not going to let you down here. It's a tower. When the tower falls, this person comes and shows up. These two are read together. They're bookends. Tower's going to fall on this person because they're being naive. They're being foolish. Oh, you got this. Everything's fine. They're blind trusting somebody. It's probably love related, but I have enough pentacles here that it could be. Okay? Could be pentacle related. All right. Lovers. We got two soulmates coming back together. I don't think anybody has a choice. These are two major arcana cards. This used to be called the choice. It's major arcana. The 5D makes the decision. We either go along with it or we use our free will against it. But in this case here, I don't think they see any other choice with the tower and the lovers together. All right. Wow. All right. Let's go. Let's see where we're at. Hangman. What do we get? Why is it here? Holy crap. It's quite a reading. That doesn't surprise me with what everything's going on right now. The problem, and I talked about it in a little bit. I touched on it a little bit in the Mercury retrograde reading. There's a lot of potential for delusion, for being a sucker, for falling for nonsense, a flim-flam man, a flim-flam woman, believing things, telling ourselves things. We can do it to ourselves. We can flim-flam ourselves and tell ourselves all sorts of things. You know, it doesn't make it true. That's all. Just because we need to get past this, just because somebody says something or we say it to ourselves doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean that. All right, here we go. 7 Cups crossing this. Yeah, somebody's taking a look. Maybe I ought to rethink some things. Yeah, you think? New perspective. What's on top? On my life. 10 Pentacles. Why is that here? The Death card. Time to maybe, I don't know, maybe it's time to make some changes. Yeah, you think? Maybe stop picking the gold ones and pick the red one. What's the red one? This soulmate connection with you. That's what it is. It's right there. All right. I mean, the reading, I've already done this reading. It's done. Take my advice, don't take my advice. I don't really care. At the end of the day, I've been watching people longer than anybody watching. I've been people watching for a long fucking time. I don't care if you're older than me. You didn't do as much people watching as I did. I've seen this. I've seen this shit play out. I knew what this reading was the minute I saw that fucking pre-shuffle. I mean, it can play out a lot of different ways. It may not be a business thing. But it's a friend, it's whatever. It's an emotional thing. When the tower falls, this person shows up your way. Again, they could free will their way against it, but it's going to be hard. I don't think they feel like they have a choice with these two here. They show up your way because you've been through whatever this is, or you've got some advice that might help them. It's the same shit that happens to me all the time in my world. I give advice that people don't want to hear. They come to me, but they listen to everybody else that they go to after me or before me. They'd rather listen to that too because it sounds better. It sounds easier. Steve's advice is tricky and it's mean. You know, it's not mean. It's just real. That's all. Anyway, and they go and they follow all this other shit, all this hippy-dippy fucking rainbow unicorn advice that they got that they'd rather hear, and they end up right back at me. So I could fix a problem that wouldn't have occurred had they just listened to me in the first fucking place. All right? So, and you're going to be in this position too. Welcome to my fucking world. Somebody's coming in. I think for a few of you, you warned them about whatever this is. For a few of you. So you know exactly what I mean. It's aggravating. And you don't want to rub their face in it because they're like this and a tower is falling on their head. But you do kind of want to say, you know, had you just listened to me in the first place. You know, I mean, it is what it is. Nine swords. Why is it here? Somebody's fucked up. I'm telling you. 9 wands crossing it. Somebody at their breaking point. Somebody's at 9s at the end. Somebody's about to admit something to themselves. This breaks to the 10 of wands, which breaks the back. And then finally we get a new beginning. Right? That in turn, that 10 and breaks to an ace. So we've got somebody here who's finally willing to take down the wall that they put up where they don't want to admit things and they stay up all night to try to find another solution. Somebody finally wants to admit that maybe they should have listened to you or maybe they need to come to you. Whatever it is. All right? It's what I just got done saying. It's right there. What's on top? 10 cups. And why is that here? The 4 of cups. With the fantasy, look, the universe being literal. Whoever this reading is for, I don't give a fuck if it's just for one person. When the cards are this fucking literal, when I hit the nail on the head this good, this is, you need to be listening. All right? So this might be for you, for somebody watching. But either way, the fantasy isn't what they thought it was going to be. This isn't what I thought. Yeah, okay. I mean, if it's a business, let's use a business as an example. You go into business with your best friend, and they got the books. They don't want you to see them, but they got this. It's strange. They seem to be walking around with Fendi purses, and you got Bendy, which is close, but not quite the same thing. But you don't think anything of it because you're in La La Land. I'm doing a business with my best friend. You got Queen's, my best friend, playing in the background. She's my best friend. Right? And then something happens. The tower falls. The deception gets revealed. And you realize that the fantasy wasn't what you thought it was. Well, you shouldn't have thought it was that in the first place. Anytime you get too much in 10 cups, you're losing your mind. You've lost it. You start drifting into La La Land, conspiracy theory land, weirdness. You're ignoring things. You're writing them off as nothing. I mean, if you got a $20 purse and your friend's got a $20,000 purse and you're in the same company, but you're not allowed to see the books, wake the fuck up. Okay? Somebody taking some money from the books. You've been through this for most of you. If this is somebody attached to you, the tower falls, they come to you. You'll want to rub their face in it, don't. Okay? If this is you, well, wake up. Okay? Wakey. Ain't got time for jibber jabber. We got too much going. Too many people in this kind of energy right now. Losing it. All right, here we go with the Six of Cups. They show up. What do we get? But when the cards are this literal, and I've already read the energy up to this point, something like what I'm talking about is going on. You just got to catch my drift. You can't take me literally. But for a good number of you, I've been pretty literal. And the cards have been pretty literal as well. Somebody having a real rethink about their life, about the fantasy. And they're very disappointed when they show up your way, because this is right in front of them showing up. They're disappointed. They're this girl pooing in the yard. Just can't even bother to go to the toilet. Just disappointed that things didn't turn out the way they dreamt they would or they fantasized they would. Okay, we have to be careful about that. Our fantasies are great. When you fantasize or dream about something, I don't care if it's little girls like this run into this with their weddings all the time. They dream and fantasize of this great wedding when they're little. And shit always goes wrong. It's funny how in the dreams, when you're fantasizing, you're not like the caterer didn't show up, the flowers got hung up on the freeway. You're never thinking about that. That never shows up in here. So you end up disappointed because it wasn't what happened. Be careful about that. When you're fantasizing about stuff, understand, at least acknowledge that you're overshooting. Okay? And you'll be better off than most people. And y'all know how I feel about most people, right? Don't be them. Okay, so at the end of the day here. All right, Six of Cups. Why is it here? These are things you can tell this person when they show up, because they did it. I can tell. I'm right there with them in fantasy land. Maybe they had a connection they thought they could fix. If it's a love thing, they thought they could fix the relationship, so they blew you off. Maybe they're married, and you told them, this is probably not going to end well. You're not going to be able to fix it. Your person's not going to change. That's not going, whatever. It is kind of an I told you so moment, but be a bigger person and don't say I told you so. I always say about that, I make a lot of predictions. I always reserve my right to say I told you so, but I never do, because it's a low vibrational thing to say. Right? You'll be surprised, most people lack a vision. They really can't see their hand much past their hand in front of their face. So again, another reason not to be like most people. This person is kind of like that. This person is very much most people, but they have the potential to be better than that. And the more time they spend in your energy field, the higher their vibration gets. So it's important that you don't I told you so them, because then that might affect their ego, and then they might leave, or they might be afraid to tell you why they've come to see you. You see what I'm saying? Again, here they come. Bottom of the deck, King of Pentacles. You bring some stability. That's you for this person. Your stability. It's a stable energy. You're a good, benevolent king. Steve's viewer will know what to do. Right. I get that a lot, except we can leave out viewer. Right? Steve will know what to do. They always show up. And in my head, I go, I already told you what to do. and you didn't do it. And now we got this fucking mess. Right? You might be tempted to do that too with this. Please don't. Okay? I always keep it in my head. Always do. I try to. I vent later. You know, it is what it is. What's on top? 4 of Pentacles. Yeah. They're again. Oh, it's what I said. Why is that here? Yeah, the 10 of Swords. It's like somebody shows up and they say, yeah, the 7 of Swords is the bridging energy. Yep. I mean, this reading's been spot on right from the beginning. The cards fell perfectly, as perfect as they could fall. With the 7 swords here, I was going to say before I even threw the 7 swords, somebody might show up to get you to balance things out or tell them whatever. I fucked up. They might say that. I fucked up. I wasn't paying attention. Whatever. They're looking to you to tell them where they went wrong. Okay? And they will, if you push too hard, they will sneak away from this. They will clam up out of fear. It's what I said. Their ego, they'll shut the whole thing down. So it's up to you. If you want to make things right, if you want to make peace, you got to be peaceful. If you're gonna shove it in someone's face, you're not going to make peace. Don't lower your vibration. You're the higher vibration here. And whether you already told them in the past or not makes no difference. I'm just using it as an example. Either way, you probably thought it. Whatever this is, you may have thought it, at the very least. May have. But either way, just catch my drift. The basic theme here is what's playing out. Let's go back to the original witches. Let's see what else the universe wants to tell you. Give me one card and a crossing card. I mean, I won't be able to pull another one of these for a month, but my God, I mean, this one fell beautifully. Spot the motherfucker on. I tell you. We get ourselves jammed up with this all the time. Be careful. Always just acknowledge you're overshooting. You want to. I tell you all the time to do that. If you're going to manifest love, money, success, whatever it is you're trying to manifest. Another Steve Love tarot reading. I don't know. Whatever it is you're trying to manifest. Shoot. If you want the moon, shoot for Mars. Hell, shoot for Jupiter. You know, go out beyond the asteroid belt and start getting out there. You'll end up with the moon or slightly better. But you got to shoot past it. You can't just shoot for the moon if you want the moon. It won't happen. But you have to acknowledge that you're shooting past it. And you're okay with the moon. Or even a little before it. All right, here we go. One card and a crossing card. What do we get? This person definitely did not do that. Shit's fun. I mean, my God. The 7 swords here. The tower here. The tower comes out there. The tower comes from here. In these readings, whenever we have an environmental energy that jumps from another deck over to the 3D energies, how they're behaving, that's always a big deal. It's always a huge deal, and we got 2 of them. In fact, we got bookends. This one here comes over here. This one here comes over here. And these are read together, and these are read together. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying about this reading? The fucking symmetry? It's unreal. Final message to you. Here they come. And here's you balancing things out with the 2 of Cups. We end right where we started with the 2 of Cups after all that shuffling. I mean, this could not be take a fucking screen grab. I'm going to save this reading, and I'm just going to call it the day, the perfect day, right? I remember, I used to watch this show, Superstore, back in the day, as I like to call it. They had an episode where they almost had a perfect day. I think it was March 13th or something like that. It was like the day where nothing went wrong at work. And they were always trying to duplicate it, and it never happened, right? This would be the equivalent of that March 13th, the perfect day, the perfect card fall, because it is. It ends, like any good book, tying up the beginning. All right, and there you go. Somebody's coming in. You have the message of change that balances things out. Don't shove it down their throat. Try to fight the urge to do that, like I said. Be better than me. Okay. But then again, I do tend to zip it up. But I do think, maybe you should have listened to me before, fucker. I do think it, at the very least. All right. That's your reading. I hope it was helpful. Wow. Let's throw another one. The King of Cups. Again, balancing emotions. You're a balancing factor. More balancing with justice. I mean, I can't throw a bad card here. It's all, I said, you're the one, your words balance things. This is a stabilizing force, right? A balancing force. Balance between earth and water and love. Balance, justice, the scales of balance. You bring it. You're the one. You're it. I would say the tower is falling soon. It's probably near future. But again, I'm not a time lord. So all right. That's your reading. Good luck.